Hi, I'm Sophia, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to work through a nice little prenatal Pilates flow. So it's really important that you check in with yourself and make sure that you feel safe and well as you work through the exercises. So let's come onto our mats. And first of all, let's scan that down through the body. And I always like to just take note of what I'm feeling at this moment in time, just to bear it in mind as we work. And then we're going to organise the pelvis in neutral and find that sense of length through the body and spine. And then to start with, we're just going to start by pedaling through the feet. So we're going to lift one heel and then the other, just taking a moment to check in with our balance and notice where you are at. Notice if you need a little bit more length in that lower back, a little bit more rib hip connection maybe. And then we want that subtle connection of the waist. And just to know that we're not working too hard, that it's all feeling completely appropriate for the way that you feel today. Good, we're going to lift all the way up and then stretch the heels all the way down, placing our weight between the base of the big toe, baby toe and centre of our heel. And then from here, we're going to send the hips down and back on an inhale, and then exhale, lift and lengthen, fully open those hips. Let's send the hips down and back, and then fully open as we stand up. Good, so as we work through our squats, we're trying to keep length in the body and spine. Good, let's do another 5. Inhale and exhale. And then last one, taking the hands onto the thighs, maintaining that position. We're going to work through a gentle cat and cow here. So we're going to inhale, and then on the exhale, we're going to squeeze the sit bones together, gently rounding the spine, articulating that lower back. And then we're going to reverse that movement, lifting the heart, the neck, the nose. Keep breathing steady and smooth as you work the spine in both directions. And then return yourself to neutral to stand all the way up. From here, we're going to place our hands on our hips, organise the pelvis again in neutral, and then we're going to take one leg out. So we're going to slide that leg away, keeping the pelvis level. So what we want to avoid is that hip hitch position. We want to keep the length in both sides of the waist. Then we're going to flex the foot and we're going to pass that leg up and down, nice and smoothly. You could use a chair or a banister or a wall to support your balance if you need to. So make sure you feel completely comfortable with the exercise. Keep lifting through the back of the head and neck. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and then last one. Slide that foot all the way back in. And then take the other leg out, resting on your toes, checking the position of the pelvis. Waist is active. Then when you're ready, flex that foot. We're going to lift up and down, lift up and down, and then keep it going. Let's go for 8. Good. Try and keep that waist active. 4, 3, 2, lovely, and then last one, and release, slide that foot all the way back in. So from here we can take our feet a little wide of the pelvis, making sure that we feel comfortable. Inhale here, and then as long as it feels okay for you, you're going to nod the head, flex the neck and roll yourself down into your forward fold. If this doesn't feel comfortable, you can come straight down onto the mat. But if it does, you might like to hold it for a few rounds of breath, bending the knees as much as feels good for you. Allowing the body to soften and relax. And then from here we can walk the hands out slowly, taking the hands under the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips, And begin to organise ourselves in a nice neutral setup here. So that's that connection of the ribs, the position of the pelvis, respecting the natural curvature of the spine, but not forcing it. And then from here, we're going to imagine that we're in a barrel and we're going to clean the inside of the barrel. So we're just gently working the spine, inflection, extension, and a little bit of a twist. Just going where it feels good. Let your head come with you. Let the shoulders move. And just do what feels nice. Breathe steady and smooth. And then change direction when you're ready. Get working in the other direction. And again, using a range of movement that feels comfortable and good. And then when you're ready, come back to the centre, organising the body. Again, in your neutral, so gathering the ribs, finding that subtle connection of the abdominals. Lovely. And then in neutral, what we're going to do is inhale, prepare, exhale, we're going to hinge back. So we're looking for that flexion at the hip joint. So moving the thigh bones in and up towards the chest, but making sure the pelvis and spine stay still, so staying in neutral. So the thing that happens the most often is that we tuck our tailbone underneath us to get our pelvis further back, but I want you to pay attention to your maximum range of movement without tucking the pelvis for the moment. Good, so just taking those thighs in and up towards the chest, keeping the length of the body and spine. Let's do 2 more. And then last one. And then from here, we're going to come back to our cat. So we're going to squeeze the sit bones together and find that sense of length into the lower back. And this time we are tucking the pelvis. From here, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to go further back. So you're going to allow the hips to come back towards the heels. You can take your knees wider if you need a little bit more space. Just enjoying a nice stretch. Keep that lift in the lower back and waist. Let's do 2 more here. And then come back up and find your neutral. So re-lengthen the body and spine, let the shoulders hug onto the back of the ribs. Rib hip connection. From here, we're going to gently press the floor away from us, separating the shoulders on the back of the body, lifting the rib cage up into the shoulder blades. And then we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together behind us. And again, press the floor, separate the shoulder blades on the back of the body, keep that sense of length in the back of the throat, and then let the chest come down. So we're mobilising and strengthening the shoulders. Let's do 2 more here. Good, keeping the length in the back of your throat, really nice. And then when you're ready, release. So from here, we're going to come onto our back, onto our side. And we're going to let our head rest in our hands. And then we're going to stack both legs at right angles at the hips and knees. Okay, so both legs are bent, waist is switched on and active. And then we're going to lift that top leg up and we're going to do a single leg circle. So we're going to draw a circle with our knee, making that range of movement as big as we can comfortably, keeping the length of the body and spine and that nice activation to the waist. So we're really mobilising the hip here. So we're going to go 5 in one direction and then change and work for 5 circles in the other direction. Really opening that hip as you send the knee away. And then last one. And then stack your legs up again to finish. Let's turn over onto our back when you're ready. and then float the hands up towards the ceiling. So again, organising the pelvis in neutral, making sure you've got that rib-hip connection. And we're then going to do our backstroke arms, mobilising the shoulders. And then we can add another little bit. So we'll take one arm up and over, and then we'll draw a windmill kind of shape. So we'll come up and over, backstroke, and then windmill, backstroke, and windmill, and again. 2 more. And last one. Good. And then change direction. So mobilising the shoulders in both directions. Rib-hip connection. Length to the body and spine. Good. And last one. Good, and relax. You can just turn over onto your other side, but I will turn on my mat. And then we will support the weight of the head in our hands, having both legs bent, 2 right angles at the hips and the knees. And then we're going to draw our circle. So we're going to go for 5 in each direction. And then 1 more. And then working in the other direction. So really opening that hip before you come up and around. Stirring the thigh bone inside the hip and keeping the pelvis still and stable. Let's go for 2 more here. And last one. And relax. Lovely. Carefully peel yourself up and then take the legs into like a zigzag shape. If this isn't comfortable for your hips, you can always bring the legs out in front of you in a long frog if that feels more comfortable. Okay, so you've got an option if you need it. We're then going to come up and over, stretching long through the waist, and then reach up and then go the other way. Good, so stretching both sides of the waist, keeping that sense of length working right through the body. Breathing with your movement. And then 1 more. And then come back to the center. Gently take your legs the other direction. Or if you're in your long frog, stay as you are. We're going to reach long over the legs and then come up and over. Breathing steady and smooth. So using your full range of breath. Breathing into the back of the body. And then 1 more in each direction. And then when you're ready, gently release. Take both legs in front of you along your mat. And then have your fingertips facing towards your hips. And then from here, we're going to do a gentle tricep press. So we're going to bend both elbows and then press the floor away. And then bend both elbows and press the floor away. So we're looking for that full extension at the elbow as we press the floor away. Let's keep it going. We're going to do 5, 4, 3. Keep the length of the body. 2. And then last one. Gently cross the legs and let your body relax long. And then rebuild the spine when you're ready. Lovely. So to finish with, we're just going to do a little bit of ab connection work. So as long as you're okay with laying on your back, we're going to come down carefully and then organise the pelvis in neutral. So you want to make sure you've got that sense of weight in the tailbone, weight in the bottom of the ribs, and then lengthen the arms. We're going to inhale to prepare, and then on your exhale we'll float one leg to tabletop. Inhale, hold. As you exhale, float the second leg to tabletop, and then connect your heels so your heels are together and your legs are creating almost like an elongated diamond. From here, we're going to take our palms and press our palms into our thighs, and you're going to inhale to prepare. As you exhale, lightly squeeze the thighs up in towards the hands. Keep that rib-hip connection and feel that narrowing of the waist. On your inhale, release. On your exhale, gentle activation, very gentle. And then inhale, release. And again, exhale, squeeze. And inhale, release. And exhale, squeeze. And inhale, release. Let's do 2 more here. Exhale, squeeze. And inhale. And last one. And inhale, release. Bring one foot down and then the other. Good. And then from here, we're going to gently peel ourselves over to one side and ease ourselves up very carefully. Good. Coming back into the body, mind-body connection. Focusing yourself on the breath. Using the inhale to soften. And the exhale to relax. So finding that balance between effort and relaxation. Good, do a couple more rounds of breath here, allowing the abdominals to soften. Lovely, and then just finishing with a few shoulder rolls. Lovely, well done. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care, bye.